What's going on? AJ Tucker here with AJ Self Defense, and we have another crazy story coming out of Utah. David Moss, a bishop of a church, in a sex trafficking scandal. Check out this story, folks.
Of last year, detectives said they posed as underage children and prostitutes in order to catch these people. 51-year-old David Moss, a former lieutenant for St. George Police and a bishop with the Mormon Church, and 29-year-old Richard Martin are both facing some serious felony charges right now. Authorities say these men are two of 40 people.
That is not even a drop in the bucket.
Who have recently been taken into custody following a human trafficking sting by Utah County Sheriff's Office.
You would only assume that because of his experience in law enforcement, he knew how law enforcement worked.
According to authorities, 7 years ago, while Moss was on vice with St. George Police, he was involved in a separate incident where he was having on-duty sexual relationships.
The internal investigation was sustained, and prior to a formal recommendation of discipline by the chief of police, Moss resigned.
Sergeant Spencer Cannon with Utah County Sheriff's Office says during conversations with undercover detectives who were pretending to be prostitutes, Moss told the women that he could manage them, and he had run other girls before in the past.
Managing is, I guess, a euphemism for being a pimp, and he told them he was not. It was managing them was different than being a pimp. A pimp is a pimp, no matter what you call it.
According to police, Martin was caught through social media saying explicit things to detectives who were pretending to be underage children.
The one, Mr. Martin, he has enticing a minor by internet or text, and that's significant enough in and of itself.
The other 38 people who've been arrested are currently facing misdemeanors, according to Sergeant Cannon, and moving forward, there are still some concerns.
Because of the position that he held in his previous employment with St. George PD, we have concerns that there may be other people that he might have taken advantage of in this way and gotten involved in this.
The LDS Church sent us this statement regarding Moss and his role as a bishop within the church. The behavior alleged in this incident is completely unacceptable and unbecoming of any member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and especially of someone serving in a position of local leadership. Upon learning of this situation, local leaders took immediate steps to relieve him of his role and to identify his replacement.
So there you have it, folks. I post these stories not to spread fear or anything like that, but just to get people out of the mindset that a human trafficker comes to you in a parking lot and they try to grab you or grab your daughter, snatch your daughter and take her away. That's really not the way things work. Predators come from all walks of life. I mean, they can come from the ghettos, the streets. They can be a doctor. They can come from a church. But this guy right here, he was in a position of power. He used to be a police officer, and now he's a bishop. And so he was in situations where, you know, people that are hard on their luck or young girls having a hard time, they can go to him trusting that he will help them out. And so he knows who's vulnerable. You know, he knows who's in a bad situation. As you can see in the story, there was at least 20 or 30 other guys in on this thing. So he doesn't have to even get his hands dirty. All he has to do is pass over information. And he's running a human sex trafficking ring. And so I'm going to be looking at this story. I'm going to see if more information comes out on this, but I'm glad that he got busted. Big shouts out to those in Utah, you know, that did the sting and took the time to, you know, pose as a young person on it. And it's so crazy. He was like, I can manage you, you know, like basically saying he's a pimp, you know. So here's the thing, like criminals, they come from all walks of life. It's not the church. It's not the police force. It's not the streets. It's just predators. They, you know, they can grow up in any environment and they adapt. They're like chameleons. And so you don't know they're bad until it's too late. So anyway, that's all I got. Make sure you post, like, share, share it with a parent, share it with something that you feel like it would help them out as well. All right. That's all I got right now. I'm out.